Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. If you could introduce yourself for the record.
Yes. I'm Belinda Parker Brown with Louisiana United International. We are a civil constitutional human rights organization that focus on holding our elected officials accountable and any unlawful discrimination or wrongdoing when it comes to how people are being treated. I'm here today. I have a few questions for you all.
Ms. Brown, you can't ask us questions, but you can raise them for us to consider.
Okay, great. I will raise the
points.
questions. There is a boiling point that's happening here in the state of Louisiana, and that is a blatant violation of the public's trust, especially when it comes to citizens being protected by their government. I got to address the fact that at the last hearing, my husband was with me, and you shut him down, Senator Fall. And I think what lit the fire for you to shut him down was because he was addressing the fact that the governor had bragged on how his relationships with
Ms.
the
Brown, I know, and that's why we stopped the testimony. And the purpose of this committee, as I said, is to get information from the public regarding reforms and
Right,
changes.
I'm getting to that point.
So,
I'm getting to that point. I want to make it clear, and I don't appreciate you shutting me down because I got to make my point.
Well,
What you did, we brought you information
Ms. Brown,
about the word on the street,
Ms. Brown,
and you refused.
I told you there's a proper place.
Okay.
This committee has oversight, and we've got a charge to look for reforms for state police. If you have some specific issues with personnel or whatever, or political people, then you can contact any of us directly. But the purpose of the committee is to look at reforms.
Well,
so
my
any
husband was
information-
trying to tell you that we wanted you all to look into the fact that Doug came.
No, Ms. Brown, we don't want to go into this again.
Okay, well,
You know,
it
once again-
came out anyway. Anyhow, what he said was, it was true. So
But
let
we
me
would
move
like,
on.
we
Let
would
me
like
move
for you
on.
to provide, excuse me, we would like for you to provide any information or any suggestions you have as to how we can reforms for state police in general. Any suggestions you have, we'd love to hear them.
Okay, well, I have to address the elephant in the room, Mr. Senator Fall, if you would allow me to, and then you guys can take from that what changes need to be made. And as a community organizer and an advocate for the public, I have to address the concerns of the public. That's why I'm here.
And in general terms, I'm happy to hear it. I just don't want to get
Okay.
into specific people at this point. That's not the purpose of the committee.
Okay.
But if you have some general concerns that we need to address or that you would like for us to consider addressing legislatively, I would appreciate it.
Okay, well, first of all, there is a lot of discrimination when it comes to how the Louisiana State Troopers Police is dealing with African Americans versus any other nationality. That needs to be addressed, okay? We got people right now, and I have to say this because we know that certain people, because of their status quo in whatever position, it gets pushed under the rug or get brushed off. And so what I'm saying that it must not be business as usual when it comes to the discrimination practices that's happening in the those things need to be addressed.
Are you talking about discrimination practices within state police or state police's involvement with the public?
Within the state police administration.
Okay.
You know,
you're-
a black trooper versus a white trooper, or a person with privilege, established, you know, connections or whatever, those type of
Okay.
discrimination.
I appreciate that. I
Okay.
understand what you're saying.
All right. You know, because, you know, people, you know, the public is tired. And I heard Colonel Davis say earlier that, you know, give us time, give us time. You know, we can't wait. We can't keep on giving you time to get this right when in wake of everything that's happening in our country right now. So we want these matters taken care of now, especially when it comes to the cover-up. You know, and if you do not hold, you go up the ladder and you deal with the high-ranking officials that want to cover up crimes. And they are the real criminals. And if you don't show the public that you're going to deal with these individuals, just like in the case of Ronald Green, we want every single person indicted that has something to do
Brown.
with the cover-up.
And so let me
And you know who those people are.
let me put in summary what I think you're saying, and just ask you before we finish. You are looking for oversight of an agency when you believe the agency may be protecting its own people. And so one of the things this committee is looking for are you know, what provisions are out there for the public to lodge a complaint and make, whether it be state police or any other agency, but in this case it's state police, what can be out there to give the public confidence that if there is something that they believe is wrong, that there will be a proper oversight and proper investigation. And that's something we're going to look at, and I hear you, that's what you're asking for. Am I correct?
Because everyone who commit misdeeds and harm people have to be held accountable.
Right, I understand that.
And all of those who have committed crimes must face the consequences. And you let this, you know, just like, you know, 2 years is too long for everybody to know who was involved in a cover-up, for us to still be waiting on indictments. You know what, you know, why?
We don't have any control over the indictment, we being the Senate, but nevertheless, I hear what your concerns are, and I think the other committee members do, and I appreciate you coming today to give us your testimony.
You know, so one of the things that I would really, you know, when there is a poison, you know, my grandmother said, you know, you heard this saying before, that one bad apple can spoil the whole bunch. That's not true. If you get rid of that rotten apple, you can save the rest of them.
I appreciate that. I understand.
Okay, so my point is why would you let this go on for so long, and people are still working that have lied, that have covered up, that have committed crimes? They're still working in our administration, and they shouldn't be there.
Finish up with you here, and this is what I would
And
ask
they
you.
shouldn't get
Ms.
a
Brown.
paid vacation.
Excuse me. Let me finish up here. I appreciate your comments, and if you have some specific information that you would like to share with any of the senators directly, contact us and provide us that information. If it has if there are personnel issues or anything like that, the senators, the representatives, we're all here to take that. But once again, I'm trying to keep the
okay.
focus of this committee today where we are. So I'm going to need to
One
wrap.
more thing, Senator Fall. One more thing. I understand you're trying to rush me off.
I'm not trying to rush you off. I'm
But
trying to be mindful.
my concern is that the last hearing I was here, okay, I reached out to Senator Jackson, no response. I have not even gotten a call back from her, okay? I don't appreciate the blatant disregard. I really don't think you guys want to hear from me, because you know that I'm serious about the changes that we need to make it better for all of our people here in the state of Louisiana. This has been going on for too long, and we're not going to tolerate it no more. And if we have to call for a public outcry, okay, and the whole world would know about what's happening here if you guys continue to give us the blatant disregard, the delay, and keep telling us we got to wait for justice. This is wrong. The cover-up in Ronald Green's murder, the indictments, all this stuff, we waiting too long.
I don't argue anymore. I appreciate you coming, and I think we hear you and we understand your point.
Okay, so are you going to reach back out to me?
You can reach out to me directly.
Okay,
at
I
any
will
time.
reach out to you directly.
I would appreciate that.
Okay, and I still want to apologize for apology from you for shutting my husband down here at the last meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Brown.